Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Mel. Today I'm doing a video for all of us girls out there. I'm going to be talking about anxiety and periods. So friendly warning to all the guys, you might want to switch off as obviously periods don't concern you, but you're more than welcome to stay, obviously. But for all the girls, don't go anywhere because we are talking about periods and anxiety. Okay, so just before we begin, I just want to say that I have been putting off making this video because it required a lot of research and it's very, very intricate, as with anything with the body is. So you're going to be seeing me looking down a lot because I'm going to be looking at my notes on my iPad because obviously I don't want to get things muddled up. But just so that you guys do know that I'm not an expert on this, I'm not a doctor, but I am passionate about this because obviously I am a female and obviously I get a period every month. So I wanted to put this in a video just in case there are any other ladies out there who are struggling with the same thing. Another thing that I'm also going to discuss with you guys just very, very briefly is some of the things that I experienced, some of the symptoms that I experienced when I was at my most severe with my anxiety. So you know what? Let's just get into it. We're going to be talking about hormones. That is actually the key word here. It's the key word throughout this whole video is hormones. These pesky little hormones. So let's get into it. Okay, so a lot of this video is going to be paired with my factual research that obviously I have written down in my notes. And then I'm also going to be just telling you guys like what my opinion is and what makes sense to me, but with as far as the linkage between anxiety and periods go, what makes logical sense to me. So first of all, the way that I think of it is we all have an endocrine system, and obviously just like we have a circulatory system, a urinary system, a reproductive system, we have an endocrine system, and the endocrine system is obviously the system which is made up of all our glands. We have 8 main glands, and these glands are responsible for releasing all of these hormones into our bodies. So there are hormones that are responsible for sleep cycles, responsible for body temperature, regulating metabolism, making us happy, making us sad, weight gain, weight loss. All of that is actually controlled by various hormones. So just in case you didn't know, the ovaries is actually one of these glands. So already in my mind, there's a link there because obviously the ovaries also plays a very important part in the menstrual cycle. Then when we think of anxiety, actual anxiety disorders, I've often said, oh, sorry, bumped my camera there. Sorry about that. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, when we are very, very anxious, and particularly people who actually have an anxiety disorder, we are like, I've always joked about it, but it's actually not a joke because it's actually very, very true. We are literally in a permanent state of flight or fight. What happens to our bodies when we are in that flight or fight response? A surge of hormones gets released into our system and it causes all of these very unpleasant symptoms. Now, imagine if you are in this permanent state of angst, you're experiencing all this flight or fight, your cortisol levels are extremely high. Cortisol is a stress hormone. Your adrenal glands are releasing all of this adrenaline into your system, and you are a female that is about to come onto her period. You've got hormones and 2 different things that are actually happening in your body at the same time. I'm all working together, all working against each other. It is going to wreak major, major havoc. So can a period affect anxiety? Can anxiety affect a period? Abso-freaking-lutely it can. Okay, so the second point, you know what? Let me put my iPad there. I'm sorry that I'm looking down, but yeah, I don't want to muddle my notes up. So, okay, the second thing, it's just like a very, very brief point that I want to mention to you guys because it's actually something that I experienced. And this is not anything to do with the research or anything like that. I just wanted to bring this across to you. So I found that when I was going through my very, very severe dip with my anxiety, when I had my second relapse in 2009, it had a direct effect on my stomach. And I was experiencing very, very, very bad stomach issues when I was going through very, very bad anxiety. A lot of diarrhea. I know, TMI, sorry, but yeah, a lot of diarrhea. And basically I couldn't eat properly. I lost a lot of weight. I felt sick all the time and I felt very, very nauseous. Now, I actually have done a video regarding that. Okay, so you can go and check that down below. I will link that for you. So that was obviously having, the anxiety was having a direct effect on my stomach. And then when I got my period, the stomach cramps were even worse. Basically, my stomach cramps and my pain and my nausea was actually heightened. The next thing that I want to talk about is body dysmorphia. Some girls can experience body dysmorphia, feelings of self-hatred, or developing like a bit of a thing about certain parts of their body when they are on their period. And this is because I know, like, for especially like with me, for like the first and the second day, I feel like really, really fat, and that obviously can happen because we're very, very bloated and all of that. But I actually feel very, very ugly. I feel very, very fat. I don't particularly want to go anywhere. I sort of like live in tracksuit pants, that type of thing. So if you are one of these people that is wondering why, just like before your period, or just basically when you come onto your period, like the first or the second day is usually the worst for most girls. If you are feeling a little bit of like, why do I hate myself so much? Why am I struggling to look in the mirror? Why is my hair oily? Why do I feel so ugly? This is the reason why. All right, now what I want to talk to you about is these different hormones. Okay, so we're going back to the hormones again. Okay, so let's begin at the beginning when our period starts. Okay, so when our period starts, we've got very, very low estrogen. Okay, which is going to make us feel tired. It's going to make us feel very, very fatigued. It's going to make us feel not so great. Okay. We discussed this earlier on when I said that estrogen is that hormone that makes you feel like really, really awesome. So obviously on like the first, second day of our period, estrogen levels are very, very low. They've dipped significantly. Okay. Now, estrogen is actually produced in the ovaries, which is one of our glands in the endocrine system, and the adrenal glands. Now, interestingly enough, when estrogen levels are low, serotonin is low as well. I thought this was so interesting because I didn't actually know this, but I discovered this in my research. So if you guys don't know, just a little refresher, serotonin is a feel-good hormone. That is what anxiety sufferers are striving to get more of in our systems, okay? It makes you feel really awesome. It relaxes you, it calms you. So when your estrogen levels are low, your serotonin levels are low. Okay, so by the end of your period, for like maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 days after your period has begun, your estrogen levels are starting to rise a little bit. Okay, so that really, really, really bad, yucky first and second day of your period is now gone, and you'll hopefully, if I know some girls bleed really, really heavily for the full 7 days, but by the 4th day, your estrogen levels are starting to rise just a little bit, okay? Now let's talk about progesterone. Progesterone. Oh, such a mouthful. Okay. Now, this is also a female sex hormone. Oh, the other thing, estrogen, it's also a female sex hormone. So estrogen and progesterone are actually the two main female sex hormones, and they are the main two hormones that are responsible in the menstrual cycle, because they're constantly rising and then dipping, rising and then dipping all the time. Progesterone is a calming hormone, and it helps to basically just balance out everything. So it works alongside estrogen, and it helps to maintain that uterine lining. So basically estrogen and progesterone are rising and rising and rising right up through our fertile stage, right to that day of ovulation. Okay, now this is what I was talking about, the estrogen making you feel really awesome and beautiful. A lot of girls I know it happens to me. When we are ovulating, we feel really, really beautiful and really like sexy, and we like dress up more. Our skin is glowing. It's making me laugh because I'm actually thinking there was actually a study that was done on some exotic dancers, and I can't offhand actually think of the exact figure, the exact percentage that it was, but they were saying that when these exotic dancers were actually ovulating, they got a lot more tips than the girls that were not ovulating. And it's apparently because our sexiness and our beauty shines through when we're ovulating, because we feel so amazing. And basically it's because our bodies are fertile, we are ready to basically have sex and have a baby. So that's actually the reason why. So this is when estrogen and progesterone are at their peak. And funnily enough, I was very, very shocked to hear this, but testosterone is also quite high during this phase. Yes, testosterone. It's also another one of the hormones that are responsible in the menstrual cycle. The next hormone that we have that plays a part in a period is the folliculating stimulating hormone. This is actually made in the pituitary gland, and this actually stimulates the ovaries to prepare and release the egg. Okay, so this will also be in your fertile stage. Okay, the last hormone that I want to talk about is the luteinizing hormone. This is responsible for sending the egg into the fallopian tube. Okay, when this happens, your testosterone and your estrogen levels start to drop again. They're starting to now dip. And obviously this is when we start experiencing our PMS symptoms. I know with me, I don't get headaches a lot. When I get a headache, I know that I'm either ovulating or I am about to get my period. That is how I know. So we are all different, and you know, we all have our own little symptoms that either are just a pain in the ass or, yeah. You know what? I'm just literally touching on the tip of the iceberg here. It is so intricate, and it's just not something that I am prepared to go into too deeply. But just, if you take anything away from this video, just know that hormones are playing a direct role in our menstrual cycle. They're playing a direct role in our anxiety as well, and obviously they're going to have a real effect on each other. Okay, so that is basically what I wanted to cover for today. So sorry, I'm just putting my iPad down there. So what can we actually do to try and make it a more pleasant time during the time of the month? What I recommend, and something that's been working really, really well for me, is to get the app called Clue. And I like Clue. I do like Clue. It's, I think, probably the most well-known app of all the period apps. But another app that I use is this one. And it's called Period Tracker. Yeah. And what I like about Period Tracker is I just find it's a little bit more detailed. So you'll see I'm going here. It's just got a whole heap of emotions that you can be feeling on that particular day. And I find that I can track that quite nicely. And the other thing that I really like about Period Tracker is I can actually write notes. So I can actually write detailed descriptions of exactly what is happening during my day. So I like Clue, I use Clue, but I also use Period Tracker just to get those finer details going there, because my periods, I get writing essay on, they're very, very strange. They're very, very weird. They differ every single month. Another thing that I can strongly recommend is a hot water bottle. I know it's really, really cliched, but it really, really does help. And a hot water bottle is really, really comforting. And I enjoy using it even for anxiety. I find it really, really nice to sort of cuddle up to, especially now it's really, really cold. It kind of feels like a warm little teddy bear against you. The biggest tip that I can give any lady out there is to just be aware of it in the back of your mind. If you're feeling a little bit more anxious or a little bit more moody during your period, just know that it is your period. It's nothing to worry about. Your anxiety is not technically getting worse. It's literally just because you are having your period, and it's all these pesky little hormones. Okay, so shout out to the hormone. Yeah. All right, guys. So that was the video for today. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you found it informative and probably a little bit funny in parts, but yeah, that's just me being silly. So yeah, but I really, in all seriousness, I hope that it did help, and I hope that it just helped to put your mind at ease. Okay, we don't need to worry about it. Nothing bad is happening. It's literally just the period and the anxiety and all those hormones clashing with each other. Okay, so that's basically the biggest thing. So that is the video for today. Please give this video a like if you found it informative. Leave a comment down below if you want. And also, when you subscribe to this channel, if you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. When you subscribe to this channel, make sure that you click that little gray, it's a little gray bell, like a little gray bell button, and that's going to notify you whenever I upload a new video. Okay. And then just last but not least, I do have a website. I've put it down below. It's also going to be right here on your screen, and you can go and see all of my work and all of my goodies. I do also have 2 books out for those of you who don't know. That's all on my website. You can go and check that out when you have a moment. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all next week for another one. Bye.